Mitchell, Kovid, and SIMD on the thumbnail title, right? What do you think on the thumbnail text? PrimeageN is there yapping about something.
The vast majority of developers have zero need for learning SIMD. Why mislead them and make them feel like to be a real developer, you have to know it.
He did talk about SIMD, uses GPU and SIMD vector CPU instructions for best-in-class performance. Gonna do the SIMD's nuts joke, right? He's gonna do it right now.
You know that even Go now has SIMD support? Obviously, you know what that means, right? That means we can SIMD's nuts on your face again.
I fucking knew. Let me watch this one by ThePrimeagen. I want to see what Prime has to say about this. What is this? I have no idea what it is.
So I was, surfing on the old Twitters, and I saw this tweet said, wrote a practical introduction to SIMD using real examples from Go.
Oh, Mitchell. Okay. I think I watched PrimeageN at normal speed. It's just 11 minutes.
Ghostty, and I thought, hey, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so this is the video. People are mad that they're told to learn by ThePrimeagen.
But here's the thing, is that often my projects, I don't really feel like need SIMD anywhere. In fact, I took a flame graph of the game I'm making, and only 0.83% of the entire time, I'm actually in the update function. I don't really feel like I have a huge need, to learn the old SIMDs. Well, whatever. Hey, cool post though. But then the next day, this got posted. My SIMD post was on Hacker News, and the general hostility towards understanding how computers work and
SIMD, this is what Kovid talked about in our interviews. Kitty, right? And I was like, Kovid, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Lord, but I'm just here listening, and we're just here for you, like a support group, okay? I was just there for him. It was, oh man, hold on. But Kitty did talk about SIMD. Here it is. SIMD uses GPU and SIMD vector CPU instructions for best-in-class performance. So this is something that he uses in Kitty, it seems, as well. He explained it in a video. If you want to have more context, well, maybe now it is going to make more sense if I go and watch that, But if you want to have more content, more context on what I'm talking about, I think that he talked about it, and the full interview, the first one, July 7th, 2025. Okay, so go and watch this, and I think that's going to provide way more context on how Kovid uses SIMD, whatever.
And owning your own outcomes is really depressing. A large amount of people seem to simply have the attitude that they hope someone else will pay their bills for them. It can't be that bad, right? The vast majority of developers have zero need for learning SIMD. Why mislead them and make them feel like to be a real developer, you have to know it. What? So an article about SIMD is making people feel like, what am I reading? So obviously at this point,
What does he say about this? Everyone should know SIMD. Hold on. Oh, you know what? Let me open a new tab here. Everyone should know SIMD. Does he mention Kovid there? Kovid? That is the way that I learned about SIMD, because Kovid brought it up. He doesn't mention Kovid there. It always comes back to the Lord, brother. The Lord is the Lord for a reason. Okay, but there's no mention to Kovid here. Are we talking about the same thing? Am I wrong? We'll have to go and watch Kovid's interview again.
Had to go and actually learn SIMD because, whether you like this or not, I've never actually used SIMD in any sort of practical use case. I've understood what it was. I've called functions that have been SIMD'd themselves. I have just never personally hand wrote anything to do with it. So I thought, hey, given the fact that Hacker News hates it, I probably need to give this a shot and learn about it. So today you're going to A, have to learn about it, but B, we got some hot takes, okay? So I got to talk about this whole thing. Because honestly, why are you misleading them, Mitchell? Also, just in case anyone's wondering, I'm not going to make the joke that everybody thinks I'm going to make involving SIMD, okay? Not going to happen. So the article's called Everyone Should Know SIMD. Now, obviously, this became the immediate focal point. The fact that he said everyone should know SIMD, people just got pissed off. How dare you say everyone? It's just like, okay, here's a great concept. And honestly, it would be really good.
Oh, I'm not subscribed because I'm using a different account. I was like, why does it say subscribe there? I'm subscribed to ThePrimeagen, but I see a different account there. I don't know what account that is.
All right, so let's go to the whiteboard. Oh, gosh. Oh, Dario, stop doing that, Dario. Don't do that. Okay, here, hold on. That's the wrong one.
What does Kovid say about SIMD? Hold on. Where does he say that? Hold on. Let's look it up. We don't have to. Oh, you know what? We can actually do this here. We can go to languages, edit subtitles, I think. We can just control F here. Or, you know what? We can download this. Hold on. Download subtitles. They're there. What folder are they in? What do I have in my downloads? Hold on. I'm gonna switch here. What's the name of the downloaded file? It's called Captions 2. Okay, so Kovid talks about it here. Text stream from the terminal primarily uses SIMD instructions. SIMD in C. Here C, but using something called SIMD, which leverages browser maximum performance. Okay, let's watch then around 45:58. Then hold on. Let's see what the Lord says about SIMD. Okay, where is it? Here. So it's gonna make more sense now. We're just connecting the dots here, like fucking 2 years after.
And then people were like,
Or what was it? I said 45:58. 45:58.
uses SIMD instructions. So that's the mother.
The audio quality sucks, brother. It's shit. But Kovid got a microphone. If you go and watch the last interview, he got a microphone for the interview. My boy, the Lord, got his microphone, and the quality is better there. So you don't just have to deal with it on this one, okay?
Processing multiple amounts of data with a single CPU instruction, so-called vector programming.
But he's
So I wrote that by hand.
But he's a quantum PhD gigalord, brother. Like, he's the most goated one out there. Like, he has a PhD in what? Quantum computing and some shit like that?
Using a library called SIMD in C. And so when Kitty's parsing data, which is the performance sensitive part, it does this not even using regular C, but using something called SIMD, which leverages your processor to the maximum for maximum performance and power efficiency. So the Python is.
What was the question that I asked there? Oh, I asked them why Python and not Rust, like all the furries say that Kitty should be written in, right? That's the question that I asked.
Not involved at all. Like once all the parsing is done and most of the things be converted to characters and styles and whatever.
Dude can think his way out of a bag. Oh wait, that's me. That's me.
Where else? Then at some point Python gets involved and tells the rest of the system where on the window to draw that buffer of characters. But the whole buffer of characters and its management is all happens in C. So the performance aspect is completely irrelevant, and Python gives you a lot of flexibility. It's a great scripting language and the most popular scripting languages in the world. And so you can string Kitty in Python, which is great. And that came for free because the UI is in Python. So like for example, other terminal.
Okay, so he talked about SIMD there. Does he talk about SIMD somewhere else? 45, this is the one that we watched, okay? So pretty much SIMD is used for like the most efficient parts. Where is it? SIMD instruction. Yeah, just this. We just have 3 results, okay? So this is where he talks about it. I knew that he talked about it. I just didn't know where. And I didn't understand what the fuck he was talking about when he said SIMD because the audio quality is pretty bad. I understood it until we were over with the interview. But it makes more sense now.
Mainly a compiled language, be it Rust or C++ or whatever. They have to bolt on scripting. You have to add a scripting engine and then expose your native APIs to it.
Okay, we have context. Now we know what the Lord did in Kitty. We have a bit more context on what Mitchell is talking about and what ThePrimeagen is gonna talk about now. Mitchell, Kovid, and SIMD. On the thumbnail title, right? What do you think on the thumbnail text? Primeagenis there yapping about something.
The vast majority of developers have zero need for learning SIMD. Why mislead them? At the end of the day, I'd rather work with the person that wants to know more. I'd rather be the person that wants to know more. And if I never use SIMD and knowing this was completely useless throughout my entire life, I'm happy I know it. The name is...
Okay. I care about what the Lord says and what the Lord does. The Lord used SIMD in. He's gonna do the SIMD's nuts joke, right? He's gonna do it right now.
Did you know that Go 1.6 right here, as you can see right here, new experimental SIMD Arch SIMD package? Did you know that Go now has SIMD support? Obviously, you know what that means, right? That means we can SIMD's nuts on your face, agent.
I fucking knew. Motherfucker. Okay. I was gonna miss the best part at the end. What did he say? On your face?
right? That means we can SIMD's nuts on your face again.
Okay. So this is what Kovid was talking about. Uses GPU and SIMD vector GPU instruction for best in class performance. Okay. So if it's approved by the Lord, if it's used by the Lord, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna get mad. Like, why would you get mad if Mitchell comes up with a post saying that everyone has to learn SIMD? Like, why? Why would you get upset, brother? Like, doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's just the internet being the internet, right? Everyone's like finding what to complain about. Good video. Didn't know about this, but I have heard about it because of the Lord Kovid. Now I have more context and everything makes more sense.